Stop looking at the camera. Don't look at the camera. Go.
So as we're talking about goals, let's what would be the first area you would put a goal to for your future, Shelby?
I would probably get like another career. I'll probably put a goal towards that as in just trying to get better myself to be able to get a better career, I guess.
Okay, Danielle.
I've actually already started with also what Shelby said with career. I want to be a marriage counselor, so I've started to go to school. So I've kind of already planned out each step of what it's going to take for me to get to be a marriage counselor.
Okay, that sounds good. So now, as we're talking about reaching your goal by planning ahead, okay? So we must first plan. A plan is a document that outlines how goals are going to be met. There are 4 types of plans. So we have breadth. Now, breadth is talking about how long the depth of the plan, how long it's going to take, okay? And so there's breadth, there's time frame, specificity, and frequency of use. Breadth, like I had said, breadth is talk about how long, the time frame of it, the depth of it, of the process. So, which deals with the area where the plan affects. They are strategic and they are operational. Now, the strategic are plans that apply to the entire organization and establish the organization's overall goal. So strategic is something that's broad. Okay, it's a big plan. It's affecting everything. Where now, when you talk about operational, or plans that only deal with a particular operational area in the organization, that's a narrow thing. It's just a specific thing. It's trying to target one specific area in your life or in an organization. So that's the difference between operational and strategic plans. We also have to have time frame. Time frame deals with the how long of the plan. You're going to have 3 time frames: long term, short term, and intermediate. So if you turn into your handouts and you follow me on page 5 and 6, page 5, you're going to see also these things as long-term goals, or goals that time frame beyond 3 years. Okay? And short-term goals have a time frame of 1 year or less. And when we talk about intermediate goals, we're talking about those kind of goals that are in between a year and 3 years. So that's what time frame when you have a plan. Now, specificity deals with the details of the plan. There are specific plans and there are directional plans. So specific plans are clearly defined. Now, they are plans that leave no room for error. When they're specific, you know exactly what you're going to do. They're point to point to point, and it's specific. You understand. You're not going to make it. Everybody knows. Everybody's on the same page. So, but directional plans are flexible and deal with the general guidelines. They're loosely guided. For example, a directional plan, if you have an artist and that artist has to have tours, you're going to use a directional plan because you're going to have to be flexible and able to move and change things if they come up. So that's what you do with a directional plan. But when you're dealing with something specific that you want, like planning your budget, that you want to have from point to point to point, you need a specific plan with details, how you're going to do it, how much money you're going to spend. That's a specific plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Frequency of use deals with how often that specific plan will be used. And there are single-use plans and there are standing plans. Single-use plans is a one-time plan designed to meet the need of a specific, unique situation. And standing plans are ongoing plans to provide guidance for the activities needing to be performed repeatedly. So in a single-use plan, that's something like, if you're gonna fix a roof and you have an outline, a plan, you're gonna use a single use to fix a particular house, that roof. That's a single-use plan. When Walmart wanted to expand their stores into China, they had a single-use plan. They used that plan just to do for China, just to use on China. Now, a standing plan is something like an emergency evacuation plan. That's a plan that every place has that they use to evacuate in case of a fire. That's a standing plan. So when you have standing plan, or a monthly budget is a standing plan. Because every month you gotta budget your bills to pay, so that's standing plan.
Okay.
So when you talk about your future, we want to talk about reaching your goals. A goal is a desired outcome or target. Now these goals should be attainable, they should be specific, and they should be relevant. Wyatt Research goal setting theory believes that specific goals increase performance if that are difficult goals when they're accepted, result in higher performance than easy goals. In other words, if you have a hard goal that challenges you, you're going to be better at achieving that goal than the easy goal because you're challenged by it. So, yes.
When it says when accepted, does that mean by yourself?
Yes.
Oh,
When
okay.
accepted by yourself, when you accept the difficulty of the plan
Oh, okay.
or the goal that you have, then it's the higher performance in it because you're challenged by it.
Okay.
You're saying that the challenging of the goal makes you want to do it more?
Right,
Better
more
at it.
challenging, and you're better at it and you want to do it than an easy goal. You're like, I'll get to it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's
No,
true.
because it's easy. You know you can attain it. But when it's something you got to actually work at,
Mm-hmm.
it's more challenging, and you accept the challenge, then you're going to perform higher at it. You're going to do better at it because it's challenging you. In order to implement your plan, you will need to set goals, and having a plan is the first step to setting a goal. So there are 5 steps to setting a goal. Number 1, you have to review your plan to make sure it gives you the desired outcome. Number 2, you have to evaluate what sources are available for your plan to be successful. If you have a goal and you need finances for your goal, you need materials for your goal, that's what you're going to do as step number 2. Number 3, you determine whether the goal will give you the desired outcome by measuring it, giving it a realistic time frame, long-term, short-term, intermediate. And another example would be like a phone interviewer who says, I'm going to have 5 phone interviews in a business week. That's setting a goal with a time frame. Okay? And then number 4 is writing down your goals and communicate to all who need them. So if you have a goal and your goal of a husband and wife, your goal, y'all have to communicate to each other what's in your goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be given everybody. Or you have a team in a business, you want to make sure you're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Review goals periodically to ensure they are being met. If not, adjust your goals. So once a week you review your goal. If it's a 3-month short-term goal, you review it to make sure you're meeting it. And if you see that you're having a problem meeting it, then you change some things about it. You critique it and change it. So now we're going to start setting some goals. And remember that these goals must be attainable. Okay, so as you see in your packet, in your handout, that there is a paper in the back on page 9 to be your goal sheet. Then what I want you to do is take a minute, 1 to 2 minutes to write out a goal.
It can be any personal goal, just
Any goal. Remember now, your goals, you have to review your plan and make sure that it's going to give you the desired outcome. Remember, you're going to evaluate your sources, and you're going to determine whether your goal will give you the desired outcome by measuring it and giving it a time frame. So make sure when you're writing down your goal that it has a time frame, and that you're going to write down that goal and give it to everybody involved, and that you're going to revisit it periodically to see if you need to adjust it. So when you're writing down this goal, keep those things in mind. And just remember, the example of the phone interviewer who has going to interview 5 people in a business week. That gives you a time frame. It's the business week. You already state what you're going to do. That's the example of how to write a goal.
So you're saying in the goal, it should have a time frame.
Yes. Okay, everybody ready? All right, Danielle, can you share your goal with us?
My goal is to get a vehicle within a month.
Okay, that's a good, has a time frame. Okay, Aaron?
My goal is to own
Excuse me.
multiple homes within 2 years.
Okay, Shelby?
I say start an emergency fund by putting away $5 every pay period.
That's very good. Shauna?
My goal is to become financially stable within a month. Like budget budget out expenses in every month for all expenses.
Very good. So now, when you were writing your goals, what did you find hard about writing your goals? Did you find anything hard about writing your goals?
Time frame?
Writing a time frame.
Right. I think that is the hardest, the time frame. Meaning because to do it realistically, because you can say I want to start something, but you can't say I'm gonna do something tomorrow and it's not gonna happen. So I guess find out the time frame. I guess.
Okay. Anybody else?
I didn't have any difficulty because I just really intend on accounting for every expense that was paid or anything like that, any credits, like a balance in a checkbook,
Right.
So I intend on doing that. I said within a month, but there wasn't any difficulty with that at all for me.
Okay. Any difficulty writing your goal?
I guess I was kind of in agreement with them with the time frame. Make sure it's not just realistic, but make sure that when you set a time frame when it comes to time, can it be achieved through discipline, determination, a lot of factors come into play when you start, especially for a long-term goal.
Right. So it would be difficult to make sure it was attainable.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So do you feel that the goal is something you can accomplish?
Yes.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. And how can you implement your goal setting in your everyday life?
I just think if you learn to have a plan for everything that you do, plan your days out, plan, meals even. I think that if you implement planning in your everyday life, it should be easy to maintain goals better, I believe.
I agree, and I also think self-discipline is a big part of this as well. Because if I say I'm gonna start a budget by paying away $5, I have to make myself put away $5. If I don't, it doesn't. And you just still at square one. You don't get anywhere.
Right.
So self-discipline.
Okay. All right. Well, those are good goals, and they sound like they're attainable goals, and they're specific goals, so they're relevant because you need them in your everyday life.
Right.
And that's the thing about writing goals. You want them to be attainable, something that you want to feel good that when you're actually achieving it, it makes you want to write more goals and make more plans. So when it's attainable, you feel good about it. When like Shelby said, if I put $5 away, I have to have some self-discipline to actually do it and put $5 away. So that helps when it's attainable. And so now I want to have a little fun, and we're going to, you see next to you have envelopes that has a puzzle in it, and we're going to I'm going to give you a minute to put your puzzle together, and the one who puts it together first is going to receive a prize. So we're going to, are y'all ready? Grab your envelopes.
So we're gonna wait for Aaron to get back.
Amen.
I have one. The cheating advantage.
And grab the envelope, Aaron, and we're gonna get our puzzle together. Got a minute? Go.
I think I'm missing a piece. I'm done.
No, you're not.
I am. I don't have a piece.
I'm done.
Aaron was done first.
He doesn't have a piece.
No, he's not.
See?
I'm done.
I was done first.
I was done already.
All right. Okay.
I'd have been done if I knew there was another piece in there.
Aaron, I
You
should
should have looked.
Aaron,
I still finished first.
okay.
Sean
Okay.
won because Aaron had the piece.
But I didn't see it in there. I grabbed another piece out.
Okay.
And I still finished first.
No, you didn't finish because you didn't have any pieces.
I finished first. You know it was
Okay.
cheating.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Thank you.
I think we all should be together. I think we all finished.
All finished at the same time.
Yeah, I think we all finished.
Okay.
Shauna, no, she didn't beat me.
Shauna, can you read
I
out the
did.
5 steps from your puzzle?
Sure. Number 1 is to review the plan to make sure it gives you the desired outcome. Number 2, evaluate what sources are available for your plans to be successful. Example like loans, tools, materials. Number 3, determine whether goal will give desired outcome by measuring them and giving a realistic time frame. Number 4 is write down goals and communicate to all who need them. Number 5 is review goals periodically to ensure they're met. If not, adjust the goal.
Okay, good. So now on this post-it on the paper, I want you to write out one thing that you've learned that you feel you're going to use. Can you pass that around, Shauna?
Sure.
That you feel you're going to use. Okay, and then I'm gonna have you share that with the group.
I'm sorry, what are you writing?
We're gonna write one thing down that you've learned and that you're going to use. We're gonna share that. Okay. One minute. Okay, Shelby, what have you learned and you feel you're going to use?
I wrote down to always come back to check, reevaluate, or to adjust your goals to make sure that they're being met. Because I've been making goals prior in my life, and when they look like I just can't do them, I just stop doing them instead of checking them or checking what I can change to still reach them or to adjust them in a way. So that will help out greatly.
Okay, good. Danielle?
I wrote down just simply to write down my goals because a lot of times we just speak what we want to do and what we're going to do and we don't do them. But I think if we write them down, we'll be more accountable to the goals.
Good. Shauna?
I wrote to review goals to periodically ensure that they are met. Kind of like what Danielle was saying. If we have a list of goals and you keep going back to reference them, you're like, you know what, I really haven't been sticking to that, and so I think that would help me personally to be able to see it.
So by looking at it, going back to it and readjusting it,
Right.
you can say, hey, I didn't do this, so I
Right.
need to change it.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Aaron?
Mine was number 3 to the 5 steps of the goals, which is determine whether a goal will give you a desired outcome by measuring the goal and giving it a realistic time frame. Because as I was saying earlier, that if you don't have a realistic time frame, because a lot of times, realistically, when we look at a goal, we typically give it a time frame that we're like, oh, I can do it this way, or I can attain it in this time. But in truth, it may take you a bit longer to get some of those longer term things. Like if it was buying a home, then you need to make sure your credit's okay. You need to go back, consolidate any kind of bills you've had, and fix those and review those and go back over it just to kind of bring everything down to get your credit score high enough to talk to a mortgage consultant before you can even get to a realtor. There's a lot of steps you have to take prior to even getting to the part of looking to buy a house. You know, people think that you just go and do it, and there's a lot of steps that have to be taken way beforehand before you can even get to that part.
Right. So a time frame is important in your goal, so that you have something to reach to, make it attainable, so that you can actually reach to it. First, writing it down is important, and then making sure you go back to look at it to make sure you're actually making an effort to reach it, and then having a time frame to it. And Shelby, yours was
To come back to reevaluate.
So by coming back to it, so it's important that not just speak it but write it, and then giving a realistic time frame is important. Like Shawnee gave a month, and that's a good realistic time frame. Sometimes you need 3 months, sometimes you need 6 months. Some goals, like goals of trying to find houses, would take a year of planning, finances, getting in place. It's going to take a little longer. So you have to go back 3 months and check if you're making it, 6 months and check if you're making it, to make sure you're reaching it, it's being attained. So those are very good goals, very good ideas, and that's good. Okay, so now what I want you to do Daniel, can you pass out that Post-it for me? And put down your email address, because I want to email y'all and make sure that y'all are actually reaching your goal and accomplishing what you're setting out to do. So I would like y'all to share your email, and I will be emailing you guys so that we can make sure that your goals are being met. Thank you very much. Now in your handout on page 10, you're going to find an evaluation sheet. I would like you to go to the back and fill out the evaluation sheet for me, please.
Are we writing check marks or?
So if you read it up, please read the question.
Oh, okay, I didn't read it. I'm sorry. You can omit one that doesn't.
Okay, so that's it.
Just the last question on the evaluation sheet, just omit that one.
Excuse me.
And your feedback, any comments you might have that could improve the training session for me, I appreciate your feedback on the comments section.
Use the turn these in. Use the turn these in.
Okay. Would you like to collect these? Or?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that everybody learned something from the,
Yes, ma'am.
feel like you learned something that
Yes.
you can use?
Yes.
Pretty productive.
Okay. Good, I'm glad to hear that. I wanna thank each and every one of y'all for coming and participating in my training session. And so I just want to,
Thank you.
thank y'all each for being a participant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I want to congratulate each one of y'all on writing your goals and making them relevant and attainable and something you can reach for, specific. I want to thank each one of y'all for your ideas and filling out the evaluation sheet. And again, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get to see you again, and we'll pass across next time. Thank you.
Thank you.